Okay, let's do this. Ragna Crimson Chapter 79 review titled Fallen Star. We have 25 pages this month. Still, not many. I wish Kobayashi could give us a little more, but anyway, so we start out with a flashback, a very brief one, like one page flashback, where Novak, the machine dragon, is informing Bagram, the monarch of the bloodline of Roars, about Ragna's abilities. They are communicating through holograms. So because of course, as we know, Novak is based in Japan, whereas Bagram is in Gehenna, which is maybe somewhere between Kazakhstan and India. Anyway, if you look at the first panel, you see the two standing at the center, each at the center of two circles inside the same magic circle. So what I suppose this means is that Novak over in Japan, is also doing the same thing, where he's on one circle and he sees Bagram's image, Bagram's hologram appearing in the other circle right next to it. So Novak says Ragna is basically immune to any magic attack because he emits a ton of silver aura, and as we know, silver aura is, well, not exactly magic, it's a power that impedes magic. So any magic attack is basically not gonna work on Ragna. In fact, Ragna was even immune to Bagram's power, where when Bagram told him to disappear, to get lost into the void and disappear, it just happened that basically Ragna was teleported outside of Gehenna. He did not lose himself in the void or anything. So he's very, very resistant even to a magic spell from a monarch. So Novak understands why Ragna could beat Walter Kamui. However, Novak says that Ragna is easier to deal with, to fight against, compared to Walter Kamui himself. We know that the two of them, Novak and Walter Kamui, fought against each other when Walter Kamui attacked Japan during the Magicite Dragon incident. Like, we know that the Magicite Dragon was killed. The culprit was suspected to be the Wind Dragon, Disastra. So there was a big fight between the two bloodlines, and like Walter Kamui went and attacked Japan, and he was fended off by Novak. So now the flashback ends, and in the present, Ragna is just about to attack Bagram, with a dragon hunting flash. But then he stops at the last second because he does not really sense the presence of a dragon monarch emitting from the Bagram that is in front of him. So he assumes correctly that it's some sort of illusion, maybe something where Bagram is not really there, but just a part of his power is projected there. We see Jizurka, the dragon without a title, the titleless dragon, that is commenting on how he's surprised that Ragna figured out. And we see that his magic spellbook, his grimoire, is like glowing with energy. So it's some kind of magic of Jizurka's that is projecting portion of Bagram's power in, well, we don't know if it's a doll or it's just projected in thin air, but Bagram is not really there. There's some kind of magic going on. Bagram is somewhere else, probably still inside Gehenna. So here Bagram, or his projection anyway, activates demi-dragon form Hydra. Now, we had already seen his full dragon form, like back at the beginning of the arc. This is the first time we see his demi-dragon form. And I just want to say, the fact that it says demi-dragon form, Hydra, kind of tells me that he has more versions of his demi-dragon form. Like there may be also demi-dragon form, colon, I don't know, wyvern, for instance, or something like that, because I don't think we have ever seen somebody, a dragon, a high-class dragon, naming one of his forms. I don't think so, at least. I think they always call it demi-dragon form or full dragon form, or just dragon form, honestly. So the fact that he has a specific name after demi-dragon form tells me there are more. So what this form means is that there are 4 dragon heads that kind of sprout from the sides of Bagram's body. As we also see in the cover for volume 15, which should be out in like a couple of weeks. This chapter, chapter 79, is not technically part of volume 15, so that's kind of a spoiler right there. But anyway, so at the end of Ragna's Gehenna speedrun back at the beginning of the arc, as we discussed, Bagram realized that Ragna is very resistant to his power because he didn't just disappear, he was just teleported outside of Gehenna, but he ordered Ragna to disappear. That means Ragna is very resistant to his magic, so he devised this plan where he changes the subject of the order. So as we discussed, this Hydra form has 4 more heads, which means 4 more mouths, and using them all at once, Bagram orders the world itself to kill Ragna. That's very clever. Ragna is partially immune, or, well, for the most part, immune to his power because it's a magic power, and as we saw, Ragna is very resistant to that because he emits a silver aura which impedes the results of magic. But the world itself can be caused to kill him, to kill Ragna. And of course, he needed to use 4 heads, so a lot of magic power to order the world. So what the world does here is conclude by itself what the most efficient way to kill Ragna is. It's like reality itself adjusts just to kill Ragna in the most efficient way. And the conclusion, apparently, is, which, by the way, this conclusion is something that not even Bagram could predict. He cannot know, he does not know, he just orders the world, or the universe itself, I guess, as we will see, to kill Ragna. So the method to kill Ragna that was selected by the world, the universe itself, is by having a 1.2 kilometer wide meteorite fall on the city of Amen. And that's something incredibly cool. It's something that a lot of us have already seen in other popular series, like in Naruto, we have Madara summoning meteorites. In One Piece, we have Fujitora summoning a meteorite. And finally, in Bleach, we have Grammy summoning a meteorite. The advantage here is that since a meteorite is a purely physical object, then this is a kinetic attack. It's just pure weight. It's the power of gravity and a big mass. It's not magic. I mean, we arrived to this event, to this phenomenon, through magic, because of course this happened because of Bagram's ordering the world to happen. But the thing itself, the meteorite itself, it's not like a magic meteorite or anything. It's just a big rock, and it's just 2 minutes away from impact with the city of Amen. So what happens here is that Marionetta, the machine saintess, I think it's machine, the cyborg girl, she notices the meteorite and reports it to HQ, where Guster, Noah, and frankly all the saints and everybody, all the dragon scourges, or saints aka dragon scourges, they all freak out, obviously, like they're all What in... So Guster Noah orders all the weapons of the Sun Cult to be pointed towards the sky. Meanwhile, also the Bloodline of Roars has to take precautions because, again, Bagram had no way of knowing the method of killing Ragna that would have been chosen by the world. So he's also like, oh, we need to do something about this. He could not have prepared beforehand. So he orders Borul Boruruk and Dilaslave to pull back the mid-level and low-level dragons that were attacking Amen. They pulled them back just a little bit so as not to be caught in the impact. He also orders Gargantina, the gravity dragon, to pull up a gravity wall, which I assume will be useful, and states that he will deal with the rest of the impact, he will neuter it. But nothing of this is really useful at the end of the day, because Ragna, using Silver Aura Flight, just zips towards the meteorite like a madman, and with a dragon hunting heavy flash, just fucking pulverizes the meteorite. Okay? Just he smashes it to bits in one go, like, yo! Then Ragna states that he's grown 6 centimeters since the last time he fought them. He fought the Bloodline of Roars in Gehenna. And he gained 15 kilograms in weight because he trained a lot, I guess. So, as if this growth spurt is enough to justify him just destroying a meteorite. Like, I mean, yeah, he did train a lot. But Bagram keeps his cool. He orders the meteor fragments that are now like everywhere in the sky to just be directed on Amen and destroy it. Here, Duel Apollo the Sun Cult boss, uses another Ultimate Aurora Brilliance and destroys most of them. And Amen ends up receiving mostly inconsequential damage. Like, there are some sections that have been destroyed, some parts of the barrier that have been pierced, but not many. There are some fourth level believers that have died, but they don't consider 4th level believers as humans, so I guess that's fine for them. This could have been much worse. Ragna goes back in the city where he meets up with Isaac and the rest of the Argentum Corps, which now are called the Silver Sword Squadron. They are now his personal squadron, his subordinates. So Ragna is very apologetic because he didn't manage to shield Amen from literally every single fragment of the meteorite, as if that would be even possible, by the way. But Isaac tells him that it's okay, of course, and that the dragons have now lost their original momentum, you know? So Ragna can now stay back in the rear guard for a while they, the Argentum Corps, his squadron, can deal with the low and mid-level dragons. So they activate their new power suits. They look like Power Rangers, like it seems like an Iron Man suit where it gradually grows, like with the nanites and stuff. Isaac's suit has a little crest on its helmet. Maybe because he's the captain, so that's how you know it's him, I guess. And that's the end of the chapter. So, if we want to be honest, there is not much to chew on in this chapter when it comes to the plot, the mysteries, and everything. This was more like a hype chapter. Like, it was very impactful, very like, oh my god, what the fuck is happening? A meteorite? Really? Last thing I want to add is, we see that when Bagram orders the world to kill Ragna, he does it with his 4 Hydra heads, Hydra mouths, but not with his own. He does not participate. Only the 4 heads give the order. However, later, when ordering the fragments, that's him, right? That's him with his mouth. So what I'm thinking is, okay, so I assume that Bagram's power has some sort of cooldown. Like, of course, it takes a lot of magic power, magic energy of mana to be activated, but it also has to have some kind of cooldown. Otherwise, he could just do literally everything, like kill this, kill that, and it's too powerful not to have one. So I think that he used his 4 heads, his 4 extra heads, his 4 Hydra heads for the First Order because he predicted that maybe, just maybe, Ragna or somebody from the cult would have been able to crush the meteorite, so he wanted to save his own mouth, his own cooldown, to use it to make the fragments of the meteorite fall down Amen in case that would have been necessary. And that's all I have for you today. See ya.